Welcome back.
So let's take the ER34 with just whatever tires we got. Ideally, I would do the Fuji 1000, but that's a long race. Let's do the El Capitan one, wherever that was. Yeah, 200 miles El Capitan. Okay, so nothing crazy for cars for this one. Just Corvette. Server speed 6, isn't that special? C5 might be good. We got a shot at winning this, but 66 laps is a lot. I might have to B-spec a lot of it. Oh, it's so bumpy through here. This car and track combo is going to be brutal when the tires get worn out. My bad. Used to having good tires in this thing. Alright, so it looks like we can definitely win this race in this car as long as we can handle the endurance aspects of tires and fuel management. So looks like we'll have to pit at least every 10 laps for fuel, so that's good. But at the same time, we're making 5 seconds a lap on the second place, so as long as the pit stop doesn't take 50 seconds, you know, we got a shot. Yeah, I should have bought some better tires for this thing. Just got some soft ones and some harder ones. Glad we could use this car again. I didn't want it to just sit in the garage the whole rest of the game as we get into some of the faster cars. Basically, I just have to let the car float through there, because it actually catches air, and I don't want to wear the tires out or you know, spin them at all. So I gotta like just kind of let the car be free for a minute. I can already feel the tires starting to go off a little bit. It's only been 3 laps. Alright, 3 laps down. So we're like, what, 4% through the race? I can't do math in my head, but something like that. I may not be able to do the whole race in one video. I might have to separate that into, you know, half-hour segments or something. We'll see. But it's probably just going to be end up being a lot of just seeing this car drive around or seeing me lap the AI in like 10 laps when I get there. But it's crazy the field spread. Like it seems like every field in Gran Turismo 4 has one car that's an AI car at the front that's just way quicker than everything else. In those American events, it was the Chaparral 2J. That thing was insane. In these events, it's what I think it's a Lotus, an XE or something like that. That's in second. Well, apart from me being way out here, but like he's got a huge gap on 3rd place. Like, I'm curious to see when the AI pits. Also, I'm doing an endurance race where tire wear is going to be key. Oh, that's not good. And I'm sliding the car a little bit accidentally, but I'm also using a welded diff, so that's probably not great for the tires. And, like, I could B-spec it a lot and, like, you know, shorten the time as well. But I might just end up trying to just separate the recordings into a bunch of different recordings and just do it. Because I love driving this car. It's so much fun. Especially the last corner. It kind of walks out on its own and you just let it. I really should have put nitrous on this thing to see if the nitrous recharges at pit stops. To see if they put in a new model for you. I don't think I'll make 10 laps without new tires. I'm fine on fuel. I thought I'd be down a lot more on fuel, honestly, but I might just have to stop in every 10 laps, or 6 laps or something like that, and do 11 stops. Just to get some new tires on it, because it's definitely starting to slide a lot now. And then as my tire wears out, I'm going to be worse compared to the AI, because the AI can just perfectly manage throttle and not really care about their tires getting all worn. Whereas me, I got to be a person and drive this, right? So and we're still gaining about 4 seconds, 5 seconds or so on 2nd place. So as long as I keep that up and just keep that gap going, we should be able to get a win out of this. So, and that should give us a decent endurance car. I think this one gives us the Minolta Toyota or one of the Nissans, but we'll see. I've also got plans to go back through and finish some of the license tests, because I heard one of the license rewards for golding them is the Pace Car GTR, and I would love to have that and maybe use that instead of the big white GTR, so you guys don't get bored of that one. And, you know, see if I can upgrade the Pace Car and see if it gets the same amount of power and stuff as the white one, because then I can use that for the last off-roading events. Hopefully. I'm hoping I can put dirt tires on it, and if not, I'll use it for an endurance race of some sort. Or the professional series, maybe there's something in there that'll work. But yeah, I'm hoping to not have to put either of the GTRs away except for that reason. And by either of the GTRs, I mean this or the white GTR. I know this isn't a GTR or whatever. And, no, but I'm glad that I can use this here. And there's a couple other endurance races that I might be able to do with this car. Like it might end up being able to use it for the New York one, or yeah, something like that. The New York one. There's probably a couple others. I'm surprised those 1,000-mile events aren't in endurance. I think that championship should be an endurance championship. It's kind of odd. Yeah, tires are getting pretty dead now. I could pit this lap and see what it's like, but I want to do maybe one or two more just to make sure I'm overcutting a little bit, so that I'm not ending the race on like a terrible set of tires. Because if I get tired later on in the race, I'm trying to drive like that, you know, I'm gonna not want to be driving tires like what I got right now. But maybe 6 laps might be the limit of these mediums here, it seems. So. Which just means you guys might get some better drift clips here. I'm going to do one more and we'll box this lap. Because the right rear is looking spicy. Which is interesting because it has a welded diff, so you think both would be equally worn. No, I guess the right would be a little bit more worn. It's going a bit further distance. There we go. So maybe in like a... Oh my gosh. Yeah, that tire's dying. Maybe in a 2 or 3 pit stop period, I might be able to lap some of the back of the AI. Yeah, tires are dead. So 6 laps is the max you want to push these things in this car. So hopefully the AI is also struggling with their tires, which is probably not a thing, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm struggling like crazy. It's like I just went off a cliff. But I mean, seeing me sideways might be a bit more entertaining for you guys, but I'm like full panic trying to drive like this. Yeah, the right rear is red now, yeah. I turn in and there's no rear end. No rear end grip at all. Probably hear the cords of the tires slapping in the wheel well at this point. I would bet that the AI can go longer without pitting than I can. But it looks like I can do at least 3 sets of boxes without, oh gosh, without doing fuel, so. Yeah, I think every 6 laps is gonna be the goal for going forward, because I slowed down a ton this lap just to make it here, so. I can't even get it down pit road without struggling. Oh, all we have is soft. I'm gonna go no fuel. Here we go. Oh, they got center locks? They got center lock guns, but I got 5 lugs. Bruh. Alright, and we're back out. And we lose first place, so that means that our pit stop's about 40 seconds or so. Alright, let's see if we can catch second on cold tires. So we want to box at the end of 14, I think. which should put us for a good stint at the end if we do every 6 laps after that. Also, we're behind the AI by a bit, but we didn't take fuel on one of these stops, or at least one of them we're going to need fuel, because we're 30%. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the AI runs medium or maybe even hard tires, so that would explain why they're so much slower than we are. And I'm trying to not slide the tires, if I'm honest, but it's too much fun through some of these corners. And once they're warmed up, I can usually kind of get around decently and make up some time on the AI. So I'm not too worried about having to box again if I have to. Mind you, it has taken me a whole lap to catch up to this guy, but tires are just warming up now, so. He's staying out again. Man, I'm gonna have to box twice as much as this guy. That's not good. I don't want to do all this work and then finish second at the end because I had to pit. I just have to keep in mind the pitting time is probably the same except for fuel. I'm not sure if fuel takes extra time. I think it does, because I don't think they do it while they're doing the tires and such, but I could also just pit with the AI at this point. No, but if I do that, then I'm going to be screwed for the next pit stop and maybe out of sync. I think I need to stay out of sync the way I am at this point. Oh, we got a lot of air. That's not good. Save the car. Almost did. Yeah, I think medium tires would have been the way to go here, but I just went with what I had. And I only had the option to pick soft, so I thought I had a medium sports tire, but just tiptoeing around trying to not kill the tires, because if I can do 7 laps instead of 6, then that gets us 1 less pit stop in the end, which saves us 35 seconds. So that's better than having to pit once more and going like trying to build a 35-second gap or whatever. So he's out for another lap. Oh my goodness, your tires must be cooked, bud. Unless he's just on full hards, which could be a thing. So that would explain why he's so slow. Which means I gotta get up and get around him and build a 30-second gap again in the next 5 laps. Which is possible. I was gaining 5 seconds a lap at the beginning of the stint, so. Yeah, it's either he's really fast on that set of tires, or I'm just really slow on mine. So I feel like I'm just slow, but especially when I drive like that, just go straight into a wall. I feel like I just gotta be a gear higher than whatever the recommended gear says to be in, just to limit wheel spin. Okay, he's got a pit C. Is it this time? No. Wow. might be doing a whole fuel run before he pits. And if so, then I'm kind of screwed. Because he's half the track ahead of the other cars. Like if everyone was kind of grouped together, like the other 4 cars there, then I wouldn't really be worried about having to offset and pit an extra time or two, but that Lotus is quick. Serves me right for not serves me right for not looking at what tires I had before coming into this event. Alright, we're almost halfway on fuel. Which means I only need fuel 3 times, but depends on when I hit. I might need it a 4th. Got 5 seconds on second place, not bad. And I'm hoping as they get slower, then we might actually be at a bit more of an advantage. Because we'll be on generally better tires, pushing generally a bit harder, and they'll be going slower with their worst tires. So this could play out in our favor here. But only time will tell. That's kind of the beauty of endurance or multi-class racing. You know, you're not really sure what, like, you're not really sure who's going to win until the end, because it could not be the car that wins. Or it could not be the fastest car that wins, is what I meant to say. The Lotus is in the pits, so he's doing 12 laps. So he's going to pit every 12, because I think they just put on the same tires and run again. So I have to pit twice as many times as he does. Another thing that I might have going for me is that, and he's rolling out of the pits now, is when I go through traffic, I should be able to just cut through them. Just because I know that our car is just so much quicker than theirs, and you know, it should be something that I can do and not really have to worry about. Whereas the AI is going to be a lot more conservative because they drive conservatively like that. So, like, they won't just throw it around the outside because the inside's blocked. They'll just sit there on the inside until it's not blocked. So the Lotus might have to wait a whole straight to get around another AI car. And once the other AI cars start pitting, that's going to throw a whole wrench into the plans, because they could come out of their pit box right in front of me, but not the AI. And then the AI might get around him on the straight when he's got time. So it'd be less efficient for me, right? So I'm going to be looking to box on 14, I think. Because last time, going those extra laps, I slowed down a ton. So hopefully this time, if I can just keep doing, you know, mildly consistent lap times until that point, then we might have a shot. But so far, like, we're looking good on track for the gap we got, but it's a long time in the pit box, especially when you need to refuel, so. Get out of the dirt. I'd almost walk it into the dirt to save the car there a little bit, but yeah, we're starting to get yellow wear on the tires, so that's not too bad, but definitely feeling it. This game does a great job of showing, like, the feel of tire wear and all that kind of stuff. Because even in drifting, I can really feel, like, the front tire wear. You know, because I kind of understeer the front a lot, because that's just, I don't have the money to fix the suspension and make it grip the way that I want to, so I'm kind of four-wheel sliding, really. And, you know, I can feel when that front's worn down or if it's at the wrong pressure or anything. But okay, we got the Cerberus Speed 6 in first pit, so they're gonna box on 12 and then someone else boxing on 13. And the Corvette. Okay, we were sliding around a lot. I think we're boxing the end of this lap. Yeah, we're getting dark orange rear right wear, so that's not good, but we're going to box this lap. When you get this wear of tire, it feels like you're tiptoeing around. Alright, first lap car of the day, an old Corvette. We're past clean and easy. There we go. So I just have to hope that the AI sits behind that guy for a corner or two before trying to pass him. And then I know that, you know, I got an advantage with the AI, so that's good. 48 seconds to second place. Yeah, we're just sliding everywhere now. There's not really much I can do about it, but I've only got to deal with it for the last half of this lap. Okay, the other Corvette's making his pit stop, the Grand Sport, the blue and white one. This might be the only lap that's actually entertaining to watch with how much I'm struggling. And next time, if I'm going to use this in an endurance race, I'm definitely bringing some mediums and some hards, because I feel like hards might be what I want for how much fuel I've got. Okay, I think I'm going to do this pit stop no fuel, and then the next pit stop will have fuel. So here we go. Yeah, all I've got softs. Alright, we're back out of the pit box, and we're ahead of second by a decent amount still. Let's take it easy on the cold tires. Yeah, the cold tires have more grip than those old ones for sure, but they definitely don't feel great. Okay, so pit stop was only 21 seconds without fuel, so I think, you know, I've got a normal pit stop ahead of second place right now. So that's pretty darn good. And we're kind of a quarter of the way through this race. So it'll be about a 2-hour race, that's not bad. Alright, we're finally getting to the point at the end of the lap here where the fronts are starting to warm up and the backs are already up to temp, so that's good. We can start pushing the pedal a little bit more. I think at this point everyone's pitted now, so that's about where we stack up. There's a huge gap between everybody at this point, it seems, but maybe there's some split strategies going on. I'm definitely going for the more aggressive approach because I think it's probably more fun if you guys don't watch me try and slide around and drive a bit crazy than it is to have me in tire conservation mode on hard tires with lots of fuel. So another benefit of going with this strat is I think the less fuel you have, this game actually counts it as weight, which makes sense, whereas probably not a lot of racing games do that. So this game, like, you know, being less fuel is going to make me quicker. So I think over the average, like when you average out the whole race distance, we're probably much quicker because we're going to be much lighter. Like I'm at half a tank of fuel at this point. I could probably do one more full pit box, but yeah, I think our next pit stop was 20 or 21. I can't remember. There we go. The Corvette didn't really get too much in the way there. Alright, that was a good lap. It felt really good. 35 seconds to second place, so that's good. Yeah, so I think every 6 laps is kind of where I'm going to have to box going forward, so definitely 20 or 21 maybe. I love this track. It's so much fun once you got a good car that you enjoy driving under you. Oh my gosh. I was going to say one you can control and get it to do what you want, but kind of just saved it there. That was pretty good. It's a lot of fun. It's flowing if you hit the lines right, and it rewards you for hitting those right, and punishes you if you hit them wrong. Yeah, it seems like every corner has a couple lines that you can take through it, except for kind of like this one, really. But you can make outside lines work if you have to against AI. There's a ton of stuff you can do. So. And the C5 is in the box again, not bad. I'm not really worried about anyone except on Lotus, but I'll have to look at the end of the race and see what kind of Lotus that is, because the thing's pretty good on its tires, it seems like. I guess being so light, it's not going to wear the tires out as much as something big like this thing. Last corner is so much fun to just let the car float out. Alright, a couple lap cars ahead having a battle. They're pretty close. Oh, I just lost the back end and barely saved that. Yikes. Definitely starting to slide a lot more now, even though those are not super worn tires, but they're getting there. The Corvette Grand Sport and the TVR are battling right now. I need some blue flags, brother. Yeah, every AI just hits the wall at the end there. Oh my god, I felt like I was just catching the car the whole way down that hill. There we go, that was good. What the? Wow, that Corvette really just slammed me into the wall. That was rude. I was just gonna say I got past them clean and didn't waste much time, but then I got just smoked by the Corvette, so... Sorry TVR, I'm gonna crash into the Corvette, because pissing me off with that driving attitude. Just push the Corvette so he knows I'm mad at him. I'm not giving him slipstream. It's gonna be like that. Alright, catching up to the C5 here. And it's a long way into the Lotus. Half the track length. Okay, come on, dude. Blue flag. Alright, we got this lap, and then one more, and we'll box at the end of that next lap. And I'll probably pause and reset my recordings, because we're a third of the way through the race. I'll do it every third. Oh my gosh. Man, this thing sounds good. I'm just like, it's hard to talk and make it super interesting because I'm nerding out. This is like my childhood. I'm just reliving it. I love the sound of this car. I'm really gonna miss that RB sound in my Skyline soon. Gonna do 1 or 2 competitions in it before we do a motor swap, I think is the plan. So I got a little bit more RB left in my life, but gonna be swapping to non-RB soon. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't mind that. It's all good. Just sliding like crazy. Okay, one more lap and then we'll box. I don't really even mind boxing every 6 laps because I kind of gain that 5 seconds on the Lotus every lap. So it's kind of, I'm not really losing time. I think I'm still gaining on him. But it's just, you know, if I boxed it now, I'm gonna come out behind those 2 Corvettes and or behind the Corvette and the TVR, and I'd have to battle them again because they're probably not gonna box yet. Ooh, sliding basically every corner now. Yeah, trying to push on the in lap here. Oh, it takes so much concentration not to spin the car on worn tires, totally. Alright, here we go. Box this lap, and then I'm gonna... We're getting fuel this time as well, so that's kind of the difference. Alright. We're getting fuel this time, so let's see how the pit stop goes. Oh, they are fueling while I'm getting tires changed. Okay, cool. You can press the A button, or well, A for me, X on the controller, I guess. You can press that button to decide how much fuel you want to take. Oh man, Corvette, that was risky when I'm on cold tires. So yeah, you don't have to actually take a full tank of fuel, which I thought I was going to have to. Okay, Corvette, when I'm here, you can't just keep pushing me. Yeah, so I gotta keep that in mind. So I want to run the fuel as low as I can, and then every time I box, just get just enough fuel to go to the next pit box so that the car's light. So I think 26, or end of lap 26, will pit again. Come on, Corvette, let me by so I don't mess your race up and you don't mess up mine. Alright, 24 seconds to second place, so we lost about 22 in the pits, something like that. I can make that up in 4 or 5 laps, so that's good. So we are on pace to win this thing if we keep doing... Oh, wow. That TVR just smoked the wall. Poor guy. How's your neck after that? Alright, and I think our replay has ended because it won't let you record the whole race, so... So, welcome back to first-person camera, full view. I was trying to give you third person as long as I could, so for some of these endurance events, we're going to have to... You're only going to get the first 40 minutes or so. But that's just part of the game and how it works, so if you know how to fix that, let me know. But I think that's just how long the recording... the replay system is going to work in-game, so... We'll see. I'll still try and record it or save it at the end, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. So, welcome to my view of the Blitz skyline. It's kind of crazy how all the AI have kind of, except for the Lotus. The Lotus is just in a race of its own, but it looks like all the AI have kind of grouped up a bit, really, just in the south part of the course. So I feel like the Lotus might just be stuck on somebody at the very back of the pack or in the middle of the pack. And any inefficiencies that he has trying to go through the whole crowd, the better for us. So, oh, I took that. Had a weird line, but it still worked. You know, I could come in these races once I get that, whatever the prize car is for this, and just use Group C car to do all the rest, which I'm still kind of debating on whether I want to do that, because it would make the races faster and easier for you guys to watch, because it's not, you know, it might turn a 4-hour race in these cars into like a 3-hour race in the Minolta or something, but you know, at the same time, you just see me stomping on the AI, which I kind of am in this race, and I was hoping that I wouldn't. I was hoping it would be a bit better to watch, but, you know, I'm not sure what I want to do, because I could just take that, whatever the reward is. I think it's the Minolta for this race, I could be wrong, but take that, and then, you know, for the next endurance race, where it's, you know, 200 miles of New York, just put on an ultra low downforce setup on that thing and just go destroy it. Or I could use something else, like I could use the Superbird, I could use the Stagia. Like, I think next time I'm going to have to change cars depending on the competition. But I just love driving this car, so that's kind of why I wanted to use this one. Like, this race would have been, we'd probably be on lap 35 if I was using the big GTR, right? So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. It's kind of where I'm at. It looks like we got 10 more seconds of lead in those last couple laps, so we're making good time on the Lotus. And he's still got to do a second pit stop. I think he's probably going to stop this lap or next. So that'll help us with our lead even more. I think eventually he's pitting every 12 laps, I think, and I'm pitting every 6. So I'm pitting twice as much as him, but I think by the end we might sync up our cycles, you know, so We'll see. Ooh, that corner is crazy. The back end starts to come around a little bit, and you have to either just throttle through it and just hold it, or lift, but then hope that the lift doesn't transfer too much weight. Because I find lifting through there is almost worse than just steering through the drift. Alright, starting to feel the tire wear a bit. This thing's definitely going to need an oil change after this one. Alright, Lotus is in the pits. Yes, the Lotus is pitting every 12 laps. We're pitting every 3, but we're offset 2 because we went into a longer first stint instead of doing 6 at the start. Which will help us in our last stint, so... We're kind of always probably going to be 3 off, I would bet. That is if I stop driving off the track like this. There we go. Alright. And this track is fun. I would almost just do this like not recording it, just as a fun track to do a little endurance gig on, because it's just great. It's such a momentum and feel and flow kind of track is how I describe it. Because if you're not confident in the car, like when I get worn out tires, you know, you can't really carry a lot of pace. And the moment you get out of sync and out of flow, it just screws your next corner up. And we're a minute 11 ahead of second place now, so he must have taken a whole thing of fuel that time. So, whereas we only need a little bit of fuel every stop. So I think we'll just keep topping it up. And yeah, you got to keep your momentum up in on this track. Cause I feel like if you're not kind of, like if you're on the gas, off the gas, kind of jerking the attitude of the car around, it's not gonna be smooth enough to do what you want. And you don't want to set your car up too low either. I've kind of lifted the suspension on for this one just because the compression there, coming over these bumps, makes it a lot more stable because the car's kind of getting shaken by the bumps in this layout. If you do the backwards layout, going over that compression is fine and the car just lifts off. But for this layout, it's better to have a little bit more room so you can have more suspension travel. I softened it up a tiny bit and it feels like it helps a lot. Just slowly fine-tuning the car over every event that I race it in, so by the end it'll be actually really quick. And then you gotta get into a rhythm. I'm kind of getting a little out of sync with my rhythm here as we pull another 4 or 5 seconds out of second place. I'm struggling with my rhythm here, but just the tire wear really catches me out, because instead of turning in at a certain time, I gotta turn in later because my stuff is getting all used up. I'm trying to conserve tires, and it's a struggle. Oh, full commit over that. And the server is in because he pits every 13 laps. I don't think I'm ever going to get sick of the RB noise in this game. This thing sounds awesome. Alright, the back end is stepping out a lot, and it's our every 6 lap plan. So we're going to box this lap. The Corvette's in. The TVR is in as well. So those two are going to be in a race-long battle, it seems. We gained 5 seconds on the Lotus, even with our worn tires. So we definitely brought the right car, because with worn-out tires, we're still making time. But whew, that was a big slide. All right, here we go. I'm not taking a whole thing of fuel. Actually, let's do no fuel this time, because we still have a bunch. So take some weight out of the car if we get no fuel. Oh, my wheel! Alright, and we're out. Oh. Cold tires, man. The cold tires are almost worse than the worn ones, but the worn tires is mostly rear biased, so the back steps out, whereas with all 4 cold, I understeer. So I can handle the understeer a lot easier without like on a controller, but okay, minute 33 to second place. That's not too bad. So we're gonna stop at the end of lap 32 next. We're getting close to halfway. Ooh, big slide from cutting that last corner. Gosh dang, that was tough. A minute 11 to second place, which I think is a pit stop or 2 possibly. Hold the understeer. Alright, all the tires are warmed up, so we're good to push a little. Ew, that off-road line is hilarious. .117 to second place. We got 6 seconds that lap, I think. Making good time. See, like, I'd probably be done this race if I was taking one of the Group C cars. It'd be going twice as fast. But that's definitely no fun to watch. Whereas this, I'm sliding the car a bit, so maybe it is a little entertaining. I don't know. And here's the green Corvette again. Gonna send it up his inside and not waste us any time. Good. Oh my gosh, we were carrying so much more speed through there and just took off. Jeez, I don't know what happened there. That was crazy. 124 to second place. Alright, the Grand Sport Corvette is in. Okay, yeah, it didn't work that time. Just something relaxing when you're not super stressed out during your Gran Turismo race and you're driving a car you like on a track you love. It's a little tiring trying to do this long of a race within one stint when you haven't done that before. I think the longest race I did before was like 14 minutes or something, and this is going to be 2 hours, so. $129 a second. I think second place might be one of the dots just up the road from us. One of those first three there, that might be second. So it is possible we lap second place in this race. Feeling the tire wear now, boys. Even though I still got 2.5 more laps to go, that's not good. Ooh, you got no grip. That was almost too late of a turn in. Minute 34. Yeah, it looks like they're like 10 seconds up the road or so. I say that, but I'm going to lose time now. Oh, man. Especially if I drive like that. I'm going to start losing time because my tires are getting super worn, so... Trying to yawn around that corner is scary because that's... You want to keep it light apex and tight, but the car just wants to float and fight you the whole way. Who's that ahead of us? Corvette? Maybe? I can't quite tell. Yeah, I think it's the Grand Sport. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have downshifted into there. Downshifted into the high-speed corner, and this totally threw the balance off. And then I saved it, and then I spun, saved it, and then spun. Kept it off the wall, though, I think. Okay, good thing we're boxing this lap anyway, because now the tires are definitely cooked after all that. Just drifting over all that. Alright, tires are cooked for sure. It's taken us the whole lap to get back onto the Corvette after spinning. But as soon as we do, we're gonna box. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of fuel this time, I think, just to be on the safe side. Make sure we can make it. That's enough fuel. Literally just a tiny bit. Just another 10% over half. And there we go. We're back out again. Man, cold tires are so hard to get used to driving on. Here we go. It feels like on cold tires you kind of have to like initiate a slide before you expect it to slide, because then you can control what you're already sliding instead of whereas on worn tires you're kind of just reacting to it. I feel like, because if you try and slide the worn tires, you're screwed. See, I don't know if it's better with this car to go for like a softer tire and just keep doing what I'm doing at this pace, or if it would have been better to go with a harder tire, because a harder tire would be spinning more, so I'd still wear it out. I just don't know how much spinning tires like that really affects the wear in this game, because some games you can spin them a ton and it's just kind of like a number of laps will kind of tell you how worn the tire gets, but I'm not really sure with this game. I feel like it does matter, so it may not be the best to kind of do that kind of thing. And, if I want a funny endurance car, I just thought of this. If I want a funny endurance car that isn't one of the Group C cars that would just destroy, what I should do is, like, put the biggest turbo known to man on the Suzuki Escudo, because I forgot that we won that, and then use that to just destroy these events, because it's meant to be fast and, you know, half dirt Pikes Peak, I think. So I think that would be fun. It would destroy everything, but it would definitely be fun. Maybe use that for the super speedway race. That would be cool. Just slap the downforce to it and let it go. Because if I remember right, it's like 800 something horsepower with the big turbo. Anyway, Corvette C5 is making his pit stop. And we're officially halfway through the race. Jeez, just about lost it again there. Tires must just be overheating, or I'm driving sloppy. Probably both, if I'm honest. I'm not used to this level of endurance race, so. Alright, there's the Corvette Grand Sport ahead of us. Wow, I turned in there and just completely lost the back end. And we somehow held it, which is the crazy part. Man, that corner, if you just send the front right and this initial D kind of cappuccino gutter run, jump it, it works out so well. You get such a better line to the last corner and save so much time. Sorry, Corvette, I'm going for it. I know that probably wasn't the best time to go for that, but... Alright, who do we get up here? The TVR, I bet? Oh, Corvette. Corvette, then the TVR. Okay. We got a minute 20 ahead of second place. So I think second place is the dot on the far right of the mini-map at this point. Which makes the most sense. So we're definitely got a decent gap to him. Oh, the TVR smokes the wall. Blue flag me, come on now. Oh, the Lotus is pitting, okay. Perfect. We might lap him up here. If we go quick enough, we might get a lap on him. Really sending it over the last corner. Oh, right on the edge of that one too. Here we go. This means we'll officially lap everybody. Oh, he's coming out just behind us. Look at that. We got 2 laps till we box, so let's see if we can get any gap. Because I would like to make sure that I lap him and stay ahead. So I think next time, like once we box, we'll have to come back and pass him again. But he might be stuck behind the Corvette or the TVR. I can't really tell from here while I'm driving, but I love seeing that -1 lap in blue. That's good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, second place might be getting held up, which we don't really need because we're a lap ahead, but it does help. Every little bit will take the pressure off. If we win by 3 laps ahead versus 1, it's still lapping him, but I would like the extra pressure so I could kind of cruise through the rest of the race and not really have to worry about it. Oh, well, that was a good save. Got real lucky from going over the bump. Oh, and then I got lucky again because I was looking at my phone. Okay, just ignore that. That's why you don't phone and drive, kids. All right, I think we're probably gonna box this lap. Keep on our schedule here. Just about got lost going off track there. Whew. Yeah, the moment you hit that slightly orange color of wear on the tires, it's like they take all the grip away from it. It doesn't feel like it's consistently gone either. It just feels like it's kind of sometimes there and sometimes not. It's like intermittent grip loss instead of just boom. So I don't know if that's a programming thing, but like I feel like in my car, like as the tires wear out, you know, I get a gradual loss, but then I'm also compensating for the whole time. So lap after lap, if I keep running the tires and they keep wearing out a bit, you know, eventually I'll get to the point where, you know, I'm just used to everything being worn out. And then I'll put new tires on and screw myself over. Oh my god. Alright, somehow did a 360 and didn't touch anything. Pro. Cool. Alright, well let's box this lap after that because the tires are definitely cooked, that's for sure. We'll get a tiny bit of fuel. Alright. Took a lot of the fuel this time because I was looking at my phone. Just gonna be honest. And someone else is in the pit box with us. It looks like the TVR back there. And we got a Corvette versus Corvette action right behind us while we're on cold tires. So let's see if we can get out of their way. Yeah, they're probably on worn stuff. They're probably not going to catch us. And while we were in the pits, the Lotus passed us. So that's the next dot up the road. And if possible, I would like to pass him back during this fuel run. I don't know how I saved that. That was crazy. Yeah. We're going to go on lap 44, I think. says I've got a 2-minute 12 lead, but my best lap is a 147.7. So that's interesting. Alright, tires are getting warmed up finally, so we can start pushing into it. That was a nice sequence through those couple corners there. Just floated the car perfectly the way I wanted to. I can see him up there. I can see him. Alright, we're locking onto the back of him now. Big understeer hour, don't mind me. Oh my god, it's quicker than me on a straight. There we go. I nailed that corner at the end. Can't give him no slipstream until the end, really. Alright, we're almost 2/3 of the way through this race. So we're making very good progress. I'm kind of just zoning out while I'm driving, just hanging around. Trying to not kill the tires too bad, but they are just sports soft, so. Ooh. Back end of the car got real loose there. Oh, that's not good. Just lack of concentration. Got on the curb a little bit, spun around. Lotus is just gonna send it like that. Alright, cool. Send it right back through that same spot. How about that? Hard to concentrate when I've been recording Gran Turismo for like 5 hours now or something. with just an hour and a half in this race alone. Constantly dancing with the throttle to try and get it to actually do what I want. I feel like I need to pause and go for a nap. Okay, I tried to cut too much out of that one. Learned my lesson. Alright, I forget what lap we last pitted on, but I feel like I'm struggling for tires a little bit, so we might do end of 44. Then we got the green Corvette. I was gonna say, this probably isn't the best part of the track to try and pass them going into here, especially on worn tires. But we made it work. Yeah, we'll box the end of this lap. Gives me time to separate my recordings as well, because I can only record for so long before I get some issues I've found, so. Man, this thing wants to slide so bad. Which makes sense being a D1 GP car, but, you know. Alright, blue and white Corvette is in, making another pit stop. Oh, wow, that was a big bump in the side of the road there. I was just trying to drive with the way that the car was sliding, but alright. Alright, box this lab, no fuel. Tire me up. All right. Alright, so it looks like the Lotus passed us again while we were in our pit box, which is pretty procedural at this point. So I'm hoping that we can get him in the next couple laps here, because it looks like he's coming up on some traffic. So we'll see how long it takes. Maybe he'll struggle to get by, and that'll make it easier for me. Not like it is really the end of the world, because we're already a lap ahead, but there we go. Tires are starting to get warmed up. When I come into the pits again, I'm going to have to mess with my armrest, because it's just slightly not the right height. It's bugging me. See, when I was a kid doing all these races, I would just put the fastest car I had, the most power. I wouldn't do any strategy, I wouldn't do any tuning or anything. I just put whatever I got with the most power and B-class it, or B-spec it. And just, you know. There we go, adjust the armrest in the straight. Genius. And, you know, I'd still get the reward car, it wouldn't matter. But I'm trying to do as much A-spec as I can. And if that means that doing the 24-hour race is going to actually be 24 hours of real-life driving, at least on the way I'm recording this, I can kind of pause it, and I don't have to sit there live for 24 hours straight and drive like a maniac. If I was streaming that, that would be terrible to watch. Because with my luck, I'd get to the end of the race and then crash or not win. But alright. So yeah, I could... Oh my gosh. If you guys keep watching, you know, I'll see if maybe we'll do more endurance races. I don't want to get too far into it yet. I think I'll probably do the shorter ones that are like a couple 100 miles or something, because I can, you know, on a lot of those tracks it won't be a full-on like 3-hour event. Kind of like how this one isn't super long, but especially if I use a Group C car or something spicier, the big GTR would be a lot quicker. I could use that, but I wanted to use this one for at least one more event. Maybe next endurance race we'll use the GTR or the Stagia or something, but for those time-based events, you kind of just need to be ahead at the end. So whether you're in a fast car and you're 20 laps ahead or you're 2 seconds ahead, it's not going to matter. But for all these ones where it's limited number of laps or limited distance, then those ones, you know, the faster car you're in, the faster the event's over. So all depends on how much recording time you have as well. Like I don't, you know, I have a full-time job and I'm trying to do YouTube stuff on the side and edit and all that kind of stuff. So you know, I don't want to be sitting here for a whole day straight on the weekend trying to record because I got stuff to do. But you know, if this was my full-time job, then I would do it. But YouTube don't pay the bills yet, bruh. Anyway, here we are back on the Lotus. He's got to start having some wear in his tires soon. It takes a really wide line into there. It's kind of odd. Kind of compromises him for the tunnel. But oh, he cut me off. How rude. He's got much better braking than I do because he just dove up there. Just barge me out of the way after you smack the wall like that. Oh yeah, his tires are worn out because he's trying to take me out from going off the track. He's doing another lap. Alright, interesting. Yeah, after following that Lotus, there's only 2 or 3 corners on the track that I actually make up time, but it's kind of impressive that I don't lose time by a lot anywhere, really, because this thing probably weighs almost double what that Lotus is, and it has a lot more power, and it's harder on the tires, but I'm surprised. You know, I figured there might be some really tight sections where, you know, maybe the corners are too tight, and that thing can fly in there a lot easier, but that lap that I followed, we were pretty much the same for all of the any spots that I was kind of concerned that the Lotus would be better, so that's not bad. But even the heavy braking zone down into there, I kind of matched his pace with this thing, which is pretty impressive, considering it's just a big 4-door Skyline, so... Open gun. No, just kidding. It's learn to drive style right there, I think. Yeah, you can definitely tell the Lotus behind us is struggling. Look at the gap we've pulled this lap. Because he doesn't send it over there. Okay, maybe don't send it that hard. That was a bit much. Oh, and the Lotus boxes. We might be able to lap him twice in this race, you know? If we stay on the attack. This lap's been good, other than that curb hit that we just did right there. Oh. We transferred a little too early. My bad. Man, this track's just so much fun. I just love how there's so many hills and dips and tight corners, and it's still a straight that you can really open it up on. Love it. We got the blue and white Corvette ahead of us again. And understeer is back again. Yeah, I got them worn tires starting. Can't remember what lap we just pitted on. Is it 44? That means the end of this lap would be the one. I might try and push it one more. Yeah, the car's not that bad. We'll do one more. So if we can stretch it one more on each one of these next stops and do 7 laps, then it might be a little bit more difficult to handle, but we're already a lap ahead, a lap and a bit, so if I can just take it a bit easy and hold on to it. I think the Lotus has to pit at least one more time. Man, the blue looks good. And, you know, that would save us 3 laps, so I think at that point we would then have 1 less pit stop overall. So let's do that. Let's try and do one more. Is the TVR coming out from his pit stop? Well, that was a very lucky save. I didn't think I was going to recover from that. But that definitely killed the tires for sure. Oh my god, what are you doing? No wonder you're in the back there track. Oh my god. Okay, what is your AI doing? Just side slamming me on the road for no reason? Like, come on, dude. Stop. Like, I'm here. You gotta give me some space. Yeah, I get that I'm rolling on worn tires, so you're going the same speed as me, but... Come on. I'm bringing the Corvette into the fight. I'm not trying to. I'm genuinely trying to not ruin their fight, but... Alright, we're gonna box this lap. I'm gonna take a drink while the crew's working, because these tires are not it based on how I held that. Oh, I almost lost it on the way into the pits. Jeez. And no fuel this time. I had an eyelash bugging me. Get that out of the way. There we go. Made a Mountain Dew Zero to get me refreshed. I love the hood on this thing. That hood is sick, by the way. And here we are, out of the pits. Sorry, I had to let that go. I couldn't contain it. So we're still a lap ahead of the Lotus. I just don't know which dot the Lotus is. It might be the one right behind us. So it's looking more and more likely that I'm not going to end up lapping him again. But if we play our cards right, we'll have one more lap. By play our cards right, I mean don't wear out the tires, don't understeer off the road like I just did. Because if I try and extend 6 laps, you know, I'll get 2 laps short of the end and then have a little short dash of on tires like that. But if I add 1 lap to my current stints I've been doing, I do 7. You know, then we should be done on the last lap. And because we're a lap ahead, we have the extra wiggle room with the tire wear to not really worry about driving a bit slower. I just understeered, went off the track, and just couldn't get grip again. I was just spinning in 4th gear at like 130 mile an hour. That's kind of crazy. I don't really like doing the downshift on the dog leg there. Just I feel like it unsettles the car a little bit more than I'd prefer. Sometimes when you got really worn tires, then it's something you got to do. But I think the rest of the time, just a lift and a bit of the brake to get the front turned in is kind of all you need. And the turbo noise though. Gosh dang. Oh, I messed that up, I messed that up, I messed that up. Okay, there we go, saved it. Jeez. Yeah, if you don't hit that curb and skip the grass right, it really kills the final corner line. Alright, this car ahead of me at the end of the straight here. I couldn't quite tell what it was from that far back, so let's get closer. I'll have a better look. I think it's the black Corvette. Kind of trying to drive a little bit more in tire conservation mode throughout the stint so that the 7th lap isn't so difficult. But that means going a lot easy in some corners. There we go. Oh, I was wrong, it's the TVR. Still smoking the wall every lap. I feel like some AI they get any bit of tire wear and they just don't know how to act at all. They forget like to check and see that you're there at all. They just kind of drive their own line at that point. Oh, I hit the curb on the left. I don't know how I saved that. That was tight. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, that blue and white Corvette. The blue looks really good. I used to drive that car a lot as a kid. I liked it. I thought it was super fast. It looks sick with the stripe on the front and the back. And that blue color is super shiny in this game. He made that pretty easy. He just kind of let me pass. So maybe his engineer was telling him blue flags or something. But that's a good run through that last corner. Gonna try and see if I can box at the end of 59. I don't know if I can go that many laps, but we'll see. You know, we're surprisingly doing pretty well with how often we've had to box compared to everybody else, with the mistake of just having the soft tire. I feel like I probably would have gone with the hard or super hard, honestly, and just had to pit half as many times, but we're still making good progress over the other cars. I feel like sometimes maybe the medium is the optimal one to go with, just because on the soft you're pitting so much, and the hard you're kind of just waiting for fuel. Oh, Corvette, let me go. Stop pushing me to the wall. Oh, it just body slammed me into the wall again. That's it. There. Bit your own medicine. Yeah, I feel like the medium tire is probably the best race tire. That compromise between grip and longevity. Because the super hards, yeah, they last a long time, which is nice. But it takes forever to get grip when you're trying to exit the corner. Like, you gotta be so gentle on throttle. Especially if you're driving any of those Group C cars, like, you know, the difference between, if you're doing Lasarth, for example, the difference between getting on throttle well and getting on throttle poorly and spinning, you could be 2 or 3 seconds by the end of the straight. The difference between there, which is enough to, you know, could be enough to offset the tire advantage that you've got by going like a couple extra laps of a couple extra laps of the track per run, if that makes sense. So, you know, at least with the tires and stuff that we have right now, I feel like every 6 laps is, you know, it's a lot of pit stops. It's like 11 stops at least, but at the same time, we're making up 5 seconds a lap on second place on these tires compared to what they're running, right? So, you know, I can afford to do an extra stop based on just the pace difference alone, let alone like differences of time going through traffic or consistency or hitting the walls like what the Lotus was doing or any of that kind of stuff. So, you know, it kind of feels like the medium might be the best because you can still get some good grip and still go fast, but if you can make a setup where you hook on super hard tires, that's probably the one you want, because they won't overheat, they don't wear too fast, but if you can make a setup that somehow grips on them, you know, then you're pretty good. But I feel like if you're doing endurance races with the Group C cars, it's a lot harder because they're all so fast that, like, if one car gets a slightly better grip than you on every corner on the track and you're running a track like this, like, the difference that makes is huge. It's going to be like an astronomical lap time difference between you and him. So I feel like the Group C cars, you might want to do more pit stops and just run all out on softs. Definitely not super softs. Those wear out way too quickly. As I found out when I tried to take the Superbird against the super challenging American Series event there, where I had to use the CN to get it done. But yeah, I tried to take the Superbird out on that and just got destroyed. So Not that the Superbird is a bad car, but just the tires wore out. Because I could keep up on super softs, but I couldn't, you know, couldn't do anything about it. Oh, let me just slap the wall. Slap that wall. Ignore that. Pretend that didn't happen. And also, if you run flat out, you have more time on warm tires, which leads chances of spinning, like what I just did. Even though it's a bit more fun to drive when you're sliding the car around, not in those group C things. Those are so hard to recover a slide. Whereas like a street car, or if it's four-wheel drive, they might have a better shot, right? So, and also if you're doing it, try not to drive welded diff like what I am, because it's great for just street. Or not street, it's great for circuit racing when you're only doing 2 or 3 laps. When you're doing 66, that's where you start to struggle. And if I can finish this lap and do one more on this tire, which is going to be a lot to ask, then I've only got one more stop before the end of the race. So I'm going to have to get a lot of fuel that time to just guarantee that we make it on one stop. And then we should be able to make it one stop to the end, be done, and then have a nice reward car, which we can use for the other endurance events or the Gran Turismo World Championship. Because depending on what it is, we might be able to upgrade it a little bit, make it a bit spicier. I'd love to use a 787B or drive one at some point, but it's just like, I just can't do it. It's so expensive, like a couple million to buy one of those, when in-game you're getting 10 grand a race. It's hard to, oh my gosh. It's hard to justify that kind of, you know, that kind of investment. Same with like the JGTC Skylines. Like I want them both, but about 1.2 million each? I don't know. Okay, I've been struggling way too much. Hit the cliff. We're in a box twice for the rest of the race. Alright, new sauce. We'll get a bit of fuel this time. We only really need maybe half a tank or so. Go a little bit more to be conservative. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright. Almost 2 hours into the race. We got 7 laps left. Probably need to pit one more time, but we'll see. All depends on where we are compared to that Lotus. So. Yes, much better even with cold tires. I like it. And we have found the TVR again. So hopefully we'll get around him on the straight, so he doesn't hold us up and that we don't hold him up, but we'll see. Oh, I followed this line. Oh, I forgot my tires were cold and I was trying to follow him. I always, like, even when I was a kid racing, I'd always kind of follow the line ahead, or line of the car ahead. I can't talk. You can tell I've been driving for like 6 hours at this point. So I'd always try and follow the car ahead, even though a lot of the time it's not what you want to do with how their setup is different than yours. And you know, I'd be like, well, if that car can do it, mine should be able to. And I'd always be in something that couldn't take the corner like that, and you know, struggle. Or there, you know, I'd just be on cold tires and struggle. But alright, 6 laps left. It's a pretty good lap. Hello Corvette, and the Lotus is making its final stop. Okay, so I've probably got a lap and a third till the Lotus, so I've got the ability to pit again. It's just coming out of the box now, so I can pit 63 if I want. I have good tires for 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's what I might do. I might just pit at the end of 63. Just to guarantee I don't spin or something on worn tires, so it might be worth it. I mean, I think at this point, as long as we just stay slightly consistent, we should be alright. Man, I never thought I'd be endurance racing a four-door Skyline in a video game, but here we are. If I won the lottery, I'd probably try and do see if there's endurance racing or anything like that near me. Make a Skyline for that, that'd be fun. We're on the back of the green Corvette. Looks like Adam LZ S15 is kind of green. Ooh. Little drift. With this corner, you want to go center of the paint. If you go to the left, you get launched like that. And it's more smooth to the right, but slower. So if you're too low, go to the right. Kind of like driving around the carousel at the Nürburgring, but kind of just abusing the tires, because at this point I've already decided I'm going to box at the end of next lap, so I don't have to take it easy on the tires. I can just burn through them if I want. Guess then I'll end the race with this kind of level of tire wear. Put a tiny bit of fuel in at the next stop just to make sure that we have tons to get there, because I don't want to stop again for fuel. And at least this track, the pit lane is pretty short, honestly. And like, I've been slowing down for the pit entrance, but you don't have to. You can just dive it in and the game will slow you down. But you can dive halfway down the pit lane road, basically. Some tracks have a much longer pit lane, so on those tracks you might want to not pit as much, just to guarantee that you get the best average time throughout the race. It's kind of like pitting at Silverstone in F1. You know, the pit lane is just so long. Like, you're at pit road speed limit for such a long time that it's not worth. There's no strategy to it. Whereas I feel like a short pit lane road is best for strategy. Because to drivers, they can be like, oh, well, I can take a super soft and do 3 stints, or I can do a medium and do 2 stints. It's like, well, if the pit road speed limit and the pit road length let you do that in 18 seconds, you know, as long as you do 18 laps at a second faster per lap, then the tire's worth it, right? As long as there's not a lot of traffic and other stuff. But I feel like a track like this, it's worth it to go on the softer tire. But on some of the longer endurance tracks, there ain't no way. Like the Circuit de la Sarthe in this game, because I think the entrance is pretty open, you might be able to just send it through the sand and get in there quick. So it'd be worth it to go aggressive. And I'm not sure which Nürburgring track layout they use for the endurance one, whether it's just the North Loop or if it's the North Loop and the GP circuit. Because the North Loop and GP circuit, the pit lane entrance in this game is like right at the pit stalls, so you can just send it full speed into there. Whereas, you know, the other layout, it's a couple corners before, so it takes a little bit longer. But, you know, on a track that's that long, also, if your tires are just worn out, you lose a little bit of time versus a lot. And, you know, I was talking, so I forgot to pit that lap. So I'm going to try and do it this lap. Because I doubt I'll be able to go 3 laps on these tires. Because they're pretty worn out. Oh, we airborne for a long time. Gosh dang. Surprised I didn't break the whole frame. It's been a pretty lonely race. I've just had that back and forth kind of with the Lotus, and like they've been down a lap on us for a while now, but haven't really had any other AI that's fast. So we kind of came out swinging with this behemoth and kind of outclassed all the other cars. But you know, I could have taken the stage and it would have been just destroyed by the Lotus. But we have tons of rally cars we could have used. Oh man, don't spin, don't spin, don't spin, don't spin. It's like a 12-mile long spin, basically. But yeah, if I could have extended 2 of those stints a lap, then I wouldn't have to make this pit stop, but we're gonna do it. New tires, splash of fuel, let's go. One of the Corvettes coming down pit road just as we leave. Yeah, 2 laps left. Tried to slide it there a little bit, get the rears warmed up quick. It's going to be nice to have the last lap as one that we can just attack with. There we go, rear tires are warmed up now. Ignore that. The rear tires are warm, but the fronts definitely are not. Stuff they're trying to just float the drift through and understeered a bit too much. Alright, here we go. Final lap. been alright so far. Trying to set a fast lap. Definitely getting on the limits of what the car can do here. Oh, a bit of understeer at the end. That felt like a good lap. Can we finish with the fastest lap? Oh yeah, finished it with the fastest lap by 7/10. That was sick. 2 hours, 7 minutes of my life gone. But we won. Let's see what we get. Wow, that was 2 hours. Oh, that's good. That's really good.